Hi, welcome to Cryptic Cruciverbalism. This is a video series where I solve cryptic crosswords live, talk over mechanics and anagrams, tactics and strategy, in an effort to help you with your own solving of cryptic crosswords. So we're just about to start the week with the quick cryptic. This is the sort of introduction cryptic crossword that comes out from The Guardian. This is normally what I start the week on, and then the cryptic, and then Monday's cryptic, Tuesdays and so on, and I'll do the everyman through the week. So let's get started. So deal with details on envelope. So always looking for typically the straight part, the straightforward definition to be at the beginning or at the end. So it could be deal with, like barter or something like this, or it could be envelope. Envelope could mean to surround. Doesn't jump out at me, so I'm going to try and find, I'm going to whip through and see if I can find some quick easy answers. So Rhode Island, old city. So Rhode Island in North America would be R and I, O, old could be O. Old Testament is often abbreviated to OT, so that gives us the straight part, which is a city. Okay, so let's see if we can do a little bit of the northeast corner here. So 5 down. River, horse, so to speak. So when I see so to speak, I'm guessing that there's probably going to be some kind of homophone here. The river could be, it could just be R, so like a river on a map. The straight part could be a river, and then it could be a word for horse. There could be some wordplay going on here as well. It could be horse as in HOARS, so to speak. So it could be something like, I don't know, rough or something like this. Not quite sure, doesn't jump out at me, so we'll move on to the next one. Upset magazine boss with love poem. So a poem could probably be an ode, so if we're just looking for a straight part, that's a good chance it could fit. And how could that work? Well, if we're using the word upset, it could indicate that we've either got an anagram or that we're just putting the letters in kind of upside down, backwards. A magazine boss would be an editor, ED. And then love could be 0, so in tennis, love is 0 points, and that gives us a poem, which is an ode. Okay, so 8 across ends in E, which is not a very discriminating letter, but let's see. What batsman made 20? So what do batsmen make? Runs in cricket or something like this. This is probably a fairly straightforward cryptic definition, perhaps. It doesn't jump out at me, so I'm just going to whip through and see if I can find some more easy clues. So brief period of enchantment. It could be a shortened word for a period, so brief, just kind of like shortening the word, and mean that it's an enchantment. I don't think it is that, actually. I think it's just a spell. So this is a double definition. So a brief period is a spell and an enchantment is a spell. Okay, so let's try 1 down as we've got a letter in it. Sailor mark is not to vote. Okay, so sailor is often used in cryptic crosswords, and it's abbreviated to all sorts of things like AB for able boatman, or salt, or tar. If it was AB for able boatman, we could say that we could guess that the straight part could be not to vote, to abstain, and that fits because we've got sailor as AB and then mark is stain, so that's a charade clue where we have a couple of definitions that make up the final straight part. 9 across, with milk, the Spanish shout aloud, so ole. This is perhaps a little tricky if you are not familiar with the expression. So I think in Spanish it's ole, O-L-E with an acute accent, and then in French with milk would be ole. It feels like it's a little bit of a tricky one, because if you don't know French or the Spanish expression, you're going to really struggle to kind of put that in just through the mechanics. But fair enough. 13 across. To knock senseless on reflection is crazy. So when I see on reflection, I'm guessing that there's a reversal going on here, so we've probably got a word that means to knock senseless that's backwards and it means crazy, or we've got something that means knock senseless and it's a word for crazy backwards. So crazy could be nuts, and that seems to work because if you knock senseless a person, you stun them, S-T-U-N, So we've knocked senseless. On reflection, we've got a reversal clue, and that gives us the straight part, which is crazy. 2 down is looking promising. So live in Germany in good health. Well, German in good health could just be well, and live in Germany, what could we have there? Or it could be live in Germany. So live is a word that could easily be used for a little bit of misdirection, because it can mean different things. So what could this be? Germany could be D for Deutschland, and then in good health could be well. So that gives us to live in, to dwell. So just using a common abbreviation for Germany. Sometimes you also get DE, I think, as well. Okay, 3 down. Confection from City of London hide out. Okay, so a confection could be some kind of sweet or lolly or something like that. If it says from, sometimes when I see the word from, I'm going to look for a hidden word. So is there a hidden word that we've got here? There is an L, that would be offlon, so that doesn't seem to fit. We've also got hideout at the end. Out could be an anagram indicator, but I think it would be, could potentially be an anagram if we have City of London as COL, and then hide, HIDE. No, that's 7 letters, so that's a bit too much, unless City of London is CL. So I'm just going to have a quick play with that. So let's say it's City of London and hide, and I'm turning it into an anagram. And confection could be... Nope, doesn't jump out at me, so we'll move on from here. Just because we've done a little bit in this top left corner, maybe let's jump on to 4. Frame Nordic Airline before start of hijack. Okay, so the straight part could be frame, or the straight part could be hijack. I think the straight part's unlikely to be frame Nordic Airline. This feels a bit forced. So if we're going to try and look at some mechanics, we've got the word start of hijack, so I wonder if the last letter is H, because start of hijack is H, and potentially we've got something like a Nordic airline, so I don't know, like Scandinavian Air or something like this. Again, not jumping out at me, so we'll quickly continue to whip through the easy ones. Look back at stronghold. So what could that be? A stronghold could be a fort, but look back, I wonder if that's again a reversal indicator, meaning do we have a word for look like spot that goes backwards? So like spot, tops, stronghold, what do we have? We have fort, castle, keep. Yeah, keep seems to work, because we could have keep, and that would be the word peak backwards. This one is fairly straightforward, that it's going to be keep, because we've got look back, and that sort of seems fairly unambiguous that we're going to have a word for look going backwards, and then the straight part being a stronghold. I have sometimes found that with some reversal clues it can be a little bit difficult to know which is the straight part. You know, is the straight part keep or is the straight part peak? But in this case I think it's fairly clear. That gives us a P for 11 down, which is a quite discriminating letter. So let's see about that. Doctors, charge, keeping cool. So it could be, the straight part could be a doctor, or it could be a doctor's charge, something a doctor looks after. Keeping cool. Cool could be like chic or something like this. It could also be something to do with the temperature. Doctor itself can sometimes be an anagram indicator. And then keeping could also mean like a hidden word. So there's a few things that could be going on here. None of them jump out, so move on. Trifling disregard. Really short clue, so it could be a cryptic definition, just like a straightforward bit of wordplay. Or it could just be a double definition, perhaps. So and double definition seems like it could fit here. If something's trifling, it's like small or unimportant, and that seems like it could fit with a word for disregard. So I'm going to guess it's double definition. Come back to it. Verify money orders sound. Okay, so sound could indicate a homophone. We've seen a few of those already. If you verify something, you check it, and that is a homophone of the word CHEQUE, a check, a money order. So that's what we've got to verify, is to check, and it's a homophone of the word check. 18 down, bread for swan. I think it's a cob. I think perhaps that's what a mature swan is called, an adult swan is called, or is it a cob? I don't know. I think there might be a word for a swan which is a cob, and maybe that's also a type of bread. Let's just try 20 across to see if that fits. Return, advance payment for transport. Okay, so transport, probably bus, that's the straight part, and advance payment is a sub, and we've returned it, so we've got another reversal. So I think a type of swan is a cob, and I think there's like a cob roll, so a cob can also be a type of bread. 14 down, Rose crying, so it's said. Okay, so Rose could be tears, and then again we've got another homophone clue. It's a homophone of a word for crying, which in this case is tears, T-E-A-R-S, and so it's said is the homophone indicator. 17 down, seabird and others going north. So we've seen quite a few reversals. If it's a reversal of a down clue, we could sometimes see indicators like upwards, or in this case north. So I think what we've got here is a word for a seabird, and it's also a word for others that goes north, or it could be other birds going north if there's a little bit more wordplay going on there. My seabird general knowledge is not with me today, so again whipping through the other clues to find some quick ones. Jumbo on the prairie, we're told. Again, we've got we're told, which could indicate a homophone. If it is a homophone, then it's probably a homophone of a word that means a prairie, so like a field or a savanna. And a jumbo could be an elephant, it could be a plane, so I think it's probably plane, P-L-A-N-E, and that's a homophone of the word, that's a homophone of P-L-A-I-N, which is a prairie. As we've only got one more across that we haven't looked at, we'll just quickly do that now. Road surface, snake has to stop. So road surface could be tarmac, it doesn't quite fit there, or asphalt. I think it's probably asphalt, and that's because the word asphalt starts with ASP, and that's a type of snake. And yes, actually, following the word for the snake, we've got has to stop, which is to halt. So that gives us the road surface, which is asphalt, and the snake is an asp, and to stop is to halt. So that's a charade clue. 12 down, I'm guessing maybe step up. It looks like it could fit. School children overturned a minor mistake. Okay, so maybe not step up, but it could be slip up. So let's see if that's the straight part, a minor mistake. How could that work? So school children overturned. Okay, it's just another reversal. It's pupils backwards. That's quite a nice one. So fairly straightforward. So we didn't do, we haven't gone through the down clues yet. I think we've seen 3, the City of London one, and we looked at 4, which was the Nordic Airline. So I think we looked at 5 as well. River, horse, so to speak. So a river could be the Rhine. Is that a type of horse? It may be, but I'm not 100% sure, so I think I'll come back to that one. We did look at doctor's charge, keeping cool. Okay, should have got that earlier. Doctor's charge is a patient, and that's a homophone of to be patient, so to be forgiving of someone. So we've got another homophone clue here. Next one is store, reportedly, in African country. So to store could be to hold or something like this. Reportedly, again, probably means that we've got a homophone, and we're looking for an African country, so Ghana could potentially fit there, but I don't know if that's a store, reportedly. It could be a hidden word, so we've got in African country, No, I don't think we've got a hidden word there. So let's whip on to the next one. And it's 17 down, seabird and others going north. So I kind of think if I knew the seabird, I would have got this by now. I think I would have spotted the word. So what could it be? If we do have a word for others going upwards, so going north, we've got a word for others, which is A something, K something, and that doesn't jump out at me either. Okay, so at this point we've gone through all the acrosses, all of the downs, kind of filled in the fairly straightforward ones. Now going to try and focus a little bit harder on the clues you haven't got so far, especially the ones that give us first letters. So one across, so details on an envelope, okay, probably address. Okay, sorry about the quick pause in the audio there, just a bit of technical difficulties. So to deal with something is to address something, to address an issue. Details on an envelope of the address, so we've got a double definition. So this should really help. 3 down, confection from City of London hideout. So this does look like it could be, maybe it's hidden word. I think it's an eclair. So how would that work? So City of London hideout. So we've got City of London, potentially CL, and then hide out. Okay, so on the outside, I think we might have, what could hideout be? I see air, and then E here. Not 100% sure of the parsing on this one, so I'm going to come back to that. We'll just try and kind of finish the crossword and then look at the clues that I'm not quite sure about. So frame, sash, so window frame. I can't remember what the country is that has the airline SAS, but I'm pretty sure that's the abbreviation of a Scandinavian airline. I think that I've seen those abbreviations before. Okay, 18 across. What batsman made 20? So what do batsmen make? And also, what could 20 be here? So 20 could be a fifth, or a slice, like a slice of cake, but I think it would be less ambiguous than that. Okay, maybe we'll try 5 down. Did think that 5 down might be Rhine, as that was the river, but I'm not super confident of that as the answer. So let's try 15. Trifling, disregard. Okay, so I'll just have a bit of a think of this one, and while I'm thinking, I'll pause. Okay, I'm back. Had a bit of a think. So the next clue that I got was 20. It's a score, and that's what a batsman made in cricket. They scored points. Really should have got that one. I guess I'm not very awake. And it wasn't the Rhine. It's the Rhone is the river, which is a homophone of Rhone, R-O-A-N, which is a horse. What else did we have? For 15 across, for this one I was drawing a bit of a blank, so I just did A, B, kind of cycled through the letters, letting my mind potter away, and when I got to S, saw that it was slight. That gives 16 down, looking pretty likely to be Ghana for the African country. Now why that is store, reportedly, I don't know. I'm trying to think, what is Ghana or Ghana a homophone of that fits the word score? For this one I'm not sure. And then for 17, this seabird, I wonder if it's a skier or something like this. It's random letters popping into my head. The reason I wonder if it's that is because I think if we've got something that means others going north, I wonder if it's other birds, and I wonder if it's birds that I don't actually know. Whatever it would be, that would, if it was others, plural, it would probably end in S. So I'm just going to take a guess that it's skier. So there's a few here that I need to check. I need to check whether skier is the right answer, and whether I think Ghana is the right answer, but how do we parse this one? So I'm going to quickly pause, check on 15 squared, and then come back and summarise where we got to. Okay, so I'm back. I went to 15 squared at this point because I've taken a punt at every clue. I don't think my answers are going to get any better than they are now. If it was just things that I wasn't sure about and I wanted some more time to think, I'd go away for a few hours, but I don't think I'm going to get any better on this one. So I looked it up. Ghana is a homophone. It's a homophone of the word Ghana, Garner, to store, which I kind of feel like I should have got, but also feel like it's not a super obvious answer, so quite a tricky clue there. And then it's not skier, it's skua, which is not a word I know, and it is also orcs backwards, and orcs are apparently seabirds. So there we go. Thank you, Maskarade. I found that a pretty challenging start to the week. There were a couple of words there that, a couple of things there that I wasn't too sure about, like skua and orcs, and also the Nordic airline. Actually, I'll check what the Nordic airline is. So that's 4 down. So let's look at the details. It's a charade of Scandinavian Airlines. Okay, SAS is Scandinavian Airlines. So yeah, normally the quick cryptic I find a pretty straightforward start to the week. I did find this one a little bit more tricky, but I hope you found this live solve helpful, and see you next time.